Welcome to Beyond the Badge. Beyond the Badge is an inside look at your Oshkosh Police Department, brought to you through the resources of Oshkosh Community Media Services.
Welcome to this edition of Beyond the Badge. I'm Joe Nichols. On today's show, we'll be talking with Community Service Officer Ben Phillips on the position of Community Service Officer, and we'll also be talking with him about what happens to bicycles when they're found in the community. Later in the show, Chief Scott Groy will be talking with us about the happenings here at the Oshkosh Police Department in this month's segment of The Command Post. We thank all of you for watching us on City Cable 10, and those of you listening to us on 101.9 WOCT. Ben, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And please, as we begin here, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've been a CSO for about 6 months now. I'm originally from Oshkosh. I went to Oshkosh West High School, graduated there in 2012, and then I'm attending UWO right now for criminal justice.
Excellent, excellent. Well, once again, thank you for coming on today's show. And tell us, first of all, what is a community service officer, or as some may refer to you as a CSO?
Right, well, CSOs are non-sworn employees of the police department. They help out with calls for service in the community, such as animal calls, found property such as bicycles or wallets. They also do traffic direction.
Sure.
And parking enforcement. We also take calls for graffiti complaints and other such things, and we also do a lot of things for officers when asked to. So
absolutely, absolutely, and you're, I mean, the position is a lot. And
yeah,
that's for sure.
There's definitely a lot,
lot
everything. There's a new thing to do every day.
Absolutely, absolutely. And how long has the CSO program been here at the Oshkosh Police Department?
From my understanding, it's been here since 1981. Chief Utek is the one who formed the organization, and so.
Okay, all right. And I know we just posted something on Facebook not too long ago about the old postal vehicles, and I know that used to be the CSO vehicles before you moved over to trucks. Yeah. So I heard some stories about those. So if one of our viewers, though, Ben, wanted to become a community service officer, what would they have to do?
Well, the easiest way is to just apply. If you go to the city website, and then there's a little button, it's I want to, and then it says apply for and job openings. Okay. And I believe community service officer position is a year-round. They accept applications year-round. Okay. So it should always be open, and you just apply for it. And then if you have any questions, you can always call the police department. You can speak to Sergeant Matt Harris. He's our supervisor. He looks over all the CSO schedules and hirings and everything like that. So for sure, if anyone has questions about the application process, they could always call the police department and speak with him.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a fun job, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely is.
Excellent, excellent. And what kind of qualifications are they going to be looking for for you to become a community service officer?
Well, you have to be 18 years of age or older.
Okay.
You have to have a valid driver's license because, like you said, we drive trucks and we're through the city, so obviously you need to have a valid driver's license to do so. You have to be enrolled in a criminal justice program or a police science program. And I know UWO offers a 4-year program, and then you also have Fox Valley Tech that does a 2-year associates for criminal justice.
Excellent.
And you basically have to have good communication skills.
Okay.
You have to be able to problem solve, and you have to have basic knowledge of the different city ordinances and obviously the streets in Oshkosh to be able to navigate your way to calls when you need to be somewhere.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I know that some of the CSOs in Oshkosh have actually become sworn officers, and that's a great a great segue into becoming a police officer, because you get to know the city as you're
Definitely.
driving around, because there are quite a few streets out there.
Yep.
And what type of training did you have to go through after you became a CSO here?
Well, the field training is approximately 200 hours of training, and it's kind of set up in 3 different waves. The first wave is all observations of your trainer, and you just kind of watch them do the job. They kind of teach you what they're doing and the different ordinances and rules and laws and stuff. So if you have any questions, you always ask them. You just kind of observe for the first, I would say, I don't know, almost 50 hours.
Okay.
And then the next section is where you both are working together, and the field training officer is always jumping in and helping you if you got something wrong, or letting you go if you got it right. But after that, it's pretty much you're all on your own. You should be set to go to be able to handle calls all by yourself. So the field training officer is just there for questions if you need questions answered, or have a quick can't think of what to do in a certain
Sure.
situation. They help you out with that.
Sure.
So
They kind of guide you along.
Yep.
Absolutely. Now, is there anything else that you have to do? I hear there's something to do with pepper spray.
Oh, yep. You have to get sprayed, because we do carry pepper spray, and you have to get certified to carry pepper spray. So part of the training is getting exposed to the OC, and it's not the best, but
Okay.
you live through it. It was an experience, that's for sure.
That's absolutely right. It's something you don't want to put on your eggs or some breakfast food in the
No.
morning. Absolutely not. It's kind of hot. So, and has the program helped you personally in your quest to becoming a police officer?
Absolutely. I was basic communication skills. I'm not the most outgoing person, so for sure, talking to people and being out in the community and having people just come up to you and talk to you, you have to be able to just talk to people, and it's definitely helped me with that. And I'm sure as I keep going with my time here as a CSO, it will get even better. So that's one big thing, and then it also helps with basic knowledge of different city ordinances or laws or state statutes.
Fantastic. Yeah, and communication is such a big part of being a
Yeah.
police officer or a community service officer. It's 95% of the job. So that's excellent. And what are your responsibilities as a community service officer?
Well, we do animal calls, so if anything from a found dog, someone finds a dog, we take care of those, all the way up to vicious animal or animal attack. So we take care of animal bite reports, whether it's animal on animal or animal on a person. We do parking enforcement, so we see a parking violation throughout the city, we enforce that.
Okay.
We also do traffic for if there was an accident or if a road needed to be closed for any reason, we would be able to do that. We have cones in the back of the trucks for quick traffic, shutdowns.
Absolutely.
We also do crossing guard duties for during school, when school is in session. If a crossing guard can't be at the designated spot they're supposed to be, then we can fill in for them and actually do that. We also do, the big part of our job is special events. Sergeant Harris is the sergeant of special operations, so being CSOs and under him, that's one of our main duties is traffic direction, setup, takedown for lots of events like Country USA or Rock USA. Those are the big ones.
Yep.
EAA. So we do that so that officers don't have to be taken from the streets, and they can take calls while we're taking care of special events.
Very good. Very good. You got to change gears quite quickly too.
Yeah.
Because you could be on something, and nope, you got something else that you have to do.
Exactly.
That's more important. So you wear a lot of hats too, as I can hear. So, and Ben, you monitor the bike program basically. So when there's a recovered bike, you're the one that kind of controls that. On average, how many bikes are found, throughout the year?
Probably about 150.
Okay.
I know in 2011 we had 213 bikes found. 2012 it was 188, and then last year was only 162. So it's been going down, which is good. Means less bikes are being found throughout the city or possibly stolen.
Yeah.
So it's been going down, but around 150, I would say.
Okay, very good. And right now, how many bicycles would you say is in the inventory storage?
Right now we have probably about 30 bicycles in there.
Okay.
Sometimes they get swapped out if it's been in there long enough and go to the city auction or the bike program. But right now as it sits, we have about 30.
About 30?
Yep.
Okay, very good. And of those that you've recovered and now are in storage, how many have the registration stickers on them?
Right now, maybe one. I know since I've been a CSO, I've only ever had one found bike that's had the city registration on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And I mean, I know that there are ordinances out there in regards to the, having a registration on your bicycle. So what happens to these bicycles if they do not have a registration tag on them?
What we do is we enter them into evidence. So basically it's just kind of sorting them, putting them in an inventory, and then we take them to our bike garage where we keep all the bikes, and they sit there for 30 days until an owner comes forward and gives us a good enough description to narrow it down to a bike that we have in our possession, and we can try and get back to them. But otherwise, if it's there for 30 days or longer, then it usually gets sent to the auction.
Sent to the auction. Very good. And how can someone register their bicycles? How do they do that?
Well, there's bike rodeos, which are certain times throughout the year. They're more obviously in the summer. You can go there. They always do bike registrations, and they have a fun course that the kids can ride through. Otherwise, if you just go to City Hall, actually anytime from now until June 30th, they're doing free bicycle registrations. Normally they're $3 and they last a lifetime, so why not go before June 30th and you can get a free one.
Absolutely.
It's, like I said, that's at City Hall. You can always call them if you have questions about that. You can call City Hall at 236-5000.
Okay, very good, very good. And for those that register the bikes, you said at the bike rodeos, they're actually you get the registration sticker there, and then all they do is put it on the bike.
Yep, correct.
Okay.
All you need is the serial number for the bike and your name, your address, and I believe a phone number too.
Absolutely.
So that way we can get in touch with you if we find your bike.
Absolutely, and it'd be quicker.
Yes.
Because other than that, if you don't sell the bike or if you don't return the bikes, you're either going to have to dump them if they're not in good shape, and or you give them away basically.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, and it saves a lot of money for the citizens that are out there.
Yep.
For sure. For sure. Well, Ben, thank you so very much for coming on today's show and talking with us about the CSO position and then also about our bike program.
Yep. Thank you.
And we're going to be right back after this short break.
Hello, I'm City Manager Mark Roloff. Roundabouts are new to many of us in Oshkosh, so we have to take extra precaution when using them. Remember, safety is the key. Slow down. The speed limit in the roundabout is only 15 miles an hour. Avoid distractions. Focus all your attention on navigating the roundabout. Find the proper lane. Check out the signage leading up to the roundabout. Choose your lane assignment early and stay in your lane. Evaluate the situation. Take notice of what kind of vehicles are in front of you. Sometimes larger trucks need to take up both lanes of a roundabout. Think to look for pedestrians and allow them to cross when entering and exiting a roundabout. Yield to traffic on your left. You must yield to all traffic in the roundabout, and that traffic will be coming from your left. Again, safety is the key. Remember that word and what those letters represent, and your roundabout driving experience will be a smooth one. Thanks for your support.
Welcome back to Beyond the Badge. We are now going to send it to Chief Scott Groyle for this month's command post.
Hi, I'm Scott Groyle, Police Chief for the City of Oshkosh. And I'm here taping another edition of the Command Post, which is a discussion or a conversation about an issue or some information that we believe is important to get out to the community of things that are occurring here at the Oshkosh Police Department. Crime Prevention Officer Joe Nichols kind of developed this program as an idea to give some short presentations or information to the community of a matter that's important to the police department. Today I want to talk a little bit about technology. our use, and our needs. Technology has really changed the way police do their jobs, and it has enhanced the effectiveness of our operations, but it doesn't come without some growing pains or some challenges. Been in law enforcement a long time, and I remember a day when we didn't even have computers in our cars, and we had to listen to what the dispatch was telling us, write down that information on a scratch sheet, or just remember the address to go to for our call for service. Now, however, we have robust computers in our cars running all sorts of applications. They have air cards with network connectivity throughout the community that enable us to send our field reports to and from the cars. They have GPS that help us get to locations or track our squads wherever they are in the community. We have the ability to pull up maps of locations throughout the community. So times have really changed. Law enforcement has always relied on radios on their hips to communicate, and now with smartphone technology, we're even more connected to the community, and that the community can more directly contact our officers, and our officers connect more personally with our citizens. Let me review some of our other, I think, important enhancements in technology that we've implemented here at the police department in the last couple of years. Currently, we have Celebrite forensic analysis of smartphones and cell phones. Crimes have changed immensely with the advent of advanced technology, and in order for law enforcement to keep up, we have to implement some of these tools. And so we have started a forensic unit where we can analyze and glean information from cell phones. We now have printers in the squads that hook directly up with the time system through the state, where we run our 27s, 28s that automatically interface into printouts right in the squads. We have software from Corona Solutions that allows us to data mine information in real time to help us solve crimes, give us a better idea of what's happening and where in the community so we can better allocate our resources there. We have just installed a lot of monitors and surveillance capability and things down in our new Patrol Operations Center with an interactive smart board that allows for better operational planning by our supervisors. The Oshkosh Police Department is making good use of social media. We routinely post on Facebook and Twitter. In fact, this morning we posted messages about streets being blocked off by a train that was disabled through some repair. We have digital recorders in all of our cars so that the officers can dictate and narrate their reports and send it wirelessly back to the word processors here at the police department for data entry into our records management system. I mentioned smartphones that all detectives, supervisors have issued to them that have all sorts of technology capabilities as well. We've deployed electronic speed and messaging boards throughout the community to help us in our traffic enforcement efforts and also give critical information to the public related to traffic issues and special events. Officers have tasers so that they can effectively and safely control aggressive subjects. We also have Scout portable alarm systems that allow us to deploy this technology for asset protection in the community. So these are just some of the technological changes that have occurred as technology is advancing. One area, however, that I do want to spend a bit of time talking about is an area that the Oshkosh Police Department is behind in, and that we are deficient as it relates to this technology, and that's in-car video or body camera video, also known as personal video recording devices. As video recordings become an increasingly important form of evidence, law enforcement entities really have begun to embrace this technology. Law enforcement agencies have utilized in-car videos for years, But the body cams or the personal video recording devices are relatively new, and they're being researched for their feasibility up and down the valley here in Wisconsin and across the nation. I will be asking for public support from the city manager and the city council for my 2015 budget request for body cameras to be used by officers in the field with the Oshkosh Police Department. Officers would be able to videotape every incident that they're investigating, every contact with another person. Video cameras are everywhere, and we certainly are being publicly videotaped by others while in the performance of our duties. And we're not threatened by the public's right to do so by any means. I also believe that video is an important tool for us to use proactively, as well as to support our services in the community, and as well to self-police the conduct of my officers while they're performing their duties. Let me just explain some of the pros and cons of the use of body cameras or the personal video devices. About a year ago, we formed a technology committee that explored the feasibility of body cameras within our organization and which specific recommendations about what specific cameras to use. I'm reviewing that information now and preparing that for a budget request. Obviously, there are budgetary implications moving forward, and that's part of the reason for this public information and education. So what are the positives potentially, or the benefits that we get out of the body cameras? They've been shown to reduce the formal complaints against officers and protect the officers and the department and the city from false allegations of misconduct by officers. And this is accomplished by having real-time data that records the incident and disproves those false allegations and acts as a good risk management system as well. It's been proven to help reduce officers' overtime costs in court, in that oftentimes when the video is shown, it's conclusive enough that there doesn't need to be any trials or courtroom proceedings beyond the watching of the video. It increases prosecution and conviction based on indisputable video evidence. Video can help officers document their actions and the actions of others when contacting the public and during field investigations. It fosters increased citizen confidence in the police department with increased accountability of officers' actions, encouraging professional conduct. Thereby, I think it enhances police-community relations because of the transparency of our operations. Video recordings can be used as an effective training tool in that the things that are recorded in the field can be reviewed internally and help our officers to understand the proper ways of doing things. It enhances the documentation of our use of force incidents. And I think that's important for the public to know that we have a high level of accountability in that area. Video displays the quality of work performed by our officers and helps us in our recognition and reward processes to reward officers for good conduct that maybe supervisors aren't on scene to directly observe themselves. Commonplace use of video by everyone creates almost a public expectation that police also have it. In fact, many community members already feel that we videotape our encounters, which we do not at this point. It enhances situational awareness by officers and increased officer safety. And lastly, I think it's a great tool to use for information and intelligence gathering purposes at critical incidents when we can share that information in our operational planning. So those are some benefits or pros and positive kind of benefits of the use of video. So what could be the negatives? Obviously there's a cost involved, and we're still trying to crunch through exactly what that would be with various options. But there's a startup cost and an ongoing maintenance cost for the devices. There's some video storage and retention, and we're working with our city IT department to figure those things out. right now to see a return on the investment, whether going to, for instance, online storage through the cloud would be more cost effective than some of the servers the city possesses currently. Obviously, that would require some additional man hours internally to be able to manage that video storage and pass on those videos to the DA's office, city attorney's office, or by request. There'll be adjustment by officers having to care for and wear devices that sometimes can be a little uncomfortable and just another piece of equipment that they're going to be responsible for, as well as sometimes the negative perception of officers that there's too much administrative oversight when in fact I think all the positive benefits that I explained are the main purposes for it. So officers can be a little skeptical at times. However, based on our internal review, it's being very well received by our officers, and in fact many of the officers want to be able to use video in their day-to-day encounters. And then of course there are privacy concerns by citizens in that they feel that maybe we're infringing on their privacy when in fact video will be occurring only when we're making legal contacts in places that we legally can be. So, but privacy considerations are always voiced when it comes to this kind of actions by law enforcement. So those are some of the considerations. This is some information we wanted to get out to the community so that the community is aware that this is an effort that's being pursued by the Oshkosh Police Department, and obviously there are some budgetary concerns with it and the reason for kind of our proactive information in this area. Technology can be our friend, and but it's a double-edged sword, and with any technology advancement there are pros and cons. So that concludes my discussion this afternoon. I appreciate all of you watching and an opportunity for us to share some information of what's going on at the Oshkosh Police Department through the Command Post program with the Oshkosh Police Department. So thanks again for watching and have a great day.
Thank you, Chief. And we'll be right back after this short break.
Are the same for bicyclists and motorists. So if you bike, ride with the traffic and obey stop signs and lights. Whether you ride a bike or drive a car, you must yield the right-of-way to pedestrians at marked and unmarked crosswalks. At intersections, always look for pedestrians before making a turn, and slow down in school zones and neighborhoods to keep our kids safe. Share and be aware. We're all responsible.
Welcome back to Beyond the Badge. We thank Chief Scott Groyle and CSO Ben Phillips for being on today's show. We thank all of you watching us on City Cable 10 and those of you listening to us on 101.9 WOCT. We hope that you've enjoyed today's show, and we want to thank you for tuning in today. For more information on the police department, check out OshkoshPD.com. For replay times and watching Beyond the Badge on streaming video, check out OshkoshCommunityMedia.org. The Winnebago County Crime Stoppers thanks all of the sponsors of this year's golf tournament and the golfers for participating in the event. All the proceeds are used to pay for crime tips that come into the Winnebago County Crime Stoppers. We hope to see you at next year's event. Until next time, we wish all of you a happy, safe, and enjoyable summer. Thank you.